Alright, so when we're looking for a log for the shingles, we need a straight log, a log that's 500-600 through as a minimum. The biggest ones here are nearly 700-800. When you're looking at the log and picking one that's from a mill, these have come from a sawmill, we're looking for splits that are already in there. So the key bits about that log is it's got to be free splitting and straight. So when you look down here, you can see the grain is straight. There's no twist in that log. Same with this one. You look at that crack, little crack there, it's running straight. So that's the key bit. There's no good splitting shingles from a log that's not going to split. It's got to split well. We're also trying to avoid little faults in the log. So if I'm at the mill and I'm picking a log, I want a log that is near perfect. You don't always get, so if you look at this one here, there's these little bumps. Now they're minuscule, but in below here there's faults. So if I've got a lump in there, that's a waste. There's a knot there, that's a quarter of this piece is going to be throwaway, so we're wasting wood. So you're trying to get your best that you can, but you can't always have everything you want. So these logs have come from I have to buy them from a sawmill. They've come from down near Alexander, out of a coop down there near Mountain Ash. So another key thing with these logs is to keep them wet. So you'll see on the pile over there, I've got a sprinkler on. You've got to keep them wet. So when you're picking a log, it's also going to be green. So once it dries out, it's hard work. So you want the log to be as easy as possible. So sprinkler on that. This one I tarp up, it just sort of sweats. And I'm going to measure 450 mil, so 18 inches off this one. Bear with me while I get the chaps on. Basically nice round, and the heart's waste. That all goes, and the sapwood, this bit here, that's all going to get discarded, which you'll see. When you got a log, a few of the things to instantly look for is gum veins. So if you've got that black line in there, if that's in here in the middle, it's going to be a problem. So out there, no issue. In here in the heart, no issue. But we're basically taking shingles out of that section there. With mountain ash or alpine ash, peppermint, the stringy barks, we split them on the quarter, so they're coming through this way, not on the back, which would be this way in line with the growth rings. And that's a pretty important one. Other places, they'll split them off the back. So depends on the type of timber and the region you're in. When I flip this one up to have a look at him, you'll see we've got, well, actually use this look here. So we've got a knot here. This one might cause us a few problems. So looking at it there, it might stretch in there. So part of this is going to be throwaway, but we might be able to get some short ones. We'll see how we go. I'll leave this for now and we'll come over to that piece. So we've already used half of this ring, but so split him in half. Then we take a quarter and try and get a nice clean hit rather than taking two at it. So that didn't work. The worst one ever, Hookie. Was it? Just bounced out.
When the camera's
I'll try again. When the camera's rolling. You never hit a metal axe or your throw with a metal mallet. You use a wooden one. So it's a bit tighter than it should have been there, but this is not quite the example we're looking for. And once we've got that quarter, I'll take him in half again. That's what we want. Well, straight away, looking for any faults, like not in here. A bit of wavy stuff, so there'll be some waste out of there, but we can work with that. So once we've got broken down enough to nearly for our shingle, we need to take the heart out. And usually try and get it with one hit. Again, we've got some knots. This guard goes over for the window wood. That one, doing half again. And then I can take this bit of a billet over to my brake. Righto. So the tools we're looking for splitting shingles are basically these. Good chopping axe, knockabout axe, doesn't want to be your best axe because we're going to be driving that into a round, potentially hitting the dirt, so we might damage the blade a bit. The other thing we've got is a froe or a paling knife. So there is a difference. This one here is a froe, and if you look carefully at the edge, it's sharpened on both sides like a normal chopping axe. So it's got a bevel on both sides. A paling knife is sharpened on one side, so like a side axe. My preference is for a paling knife. The handle's about 400 mils long. This one's a fair bit longer, but this does the job. The reason I like a paling knife is because, and you'll see it in a bit, is they actually do a bit of trimming off the sides. That's not the way they used to do it. They didn't bother with the trimming so much. They left that to the guy that was fitting them on the roof. The other bit we need is a good solid mallet. So this is just made out of a bit of elm. We go through a few, so it's probably about my 10th one, and just turn up another one on the lathe. What we're doing when you're splitting shingles, it's handy to have what you call a shingle break. So my shingle break is just a block of wood with a notch chopped out. That's 5-6 inches wide. That just holds the billet when it's split and gives me a bit of purchase if they're going a bit tight. Other places they'll have it in the side of a log, do things differently. It's just the way I do it. It's not the way you have to do it. Handy if you're getting when you're getting started. I just like a little, it's just a little gauge. So this is 5 inches by 4 inches. These particular shingles going on a job, and the specs are 5-inch wide. So we just use that to get our eye in. And that is actually the thickness, about 10-12 mil is the thickness of the shingle we're looking for. So again, when you're introducing a new person to it or starting someone up, it's handy to have a gauge, but you don't have to rely on it. That's just there. So first thing I do is I'll have a look at it, pick my best side. I'm looking for no twisting and probably cleaner. So there's a slight twist on that side, virtually nothing on that. And I'm going to take off the sapwood. Now this one we're going to fit a bit of waste, so take off about 1.5 inches sapwood. I like to use my knee to stop that bit flicking back and hitting me. And this is where the really only time I'm using the gauge is to get a rough idea of my 5 inches. And we take the heart out, the rest of the heart. Gets us a block, billet about that. I'll look at this and just take what's going to make 4 shingles. So about that width. If you can get it in one hit, it's great. And you're looking for that nice clean split down between the shingles. Once we got rid of that bit, here's my 4 shingles. Really important you go in half, and exactly in half. If you're slightly off, it won't go the way you want it. So once we've got going for our quarters, and when they're going well, you hear this pop. It's a really good sound. Like that. So once I've got these, in the old days, that stack would just go straight over there. The guy fitting them would have to do the trimming. I like to just tidy them up a little, which again is why I use the paling knife, because it's got that nice flat face. So it's like a side axe. I can just come down, take off any daggy bits, square the shingle up. And just take off a few little feathery bits. And you should get a nice shingle that's flat, no twist. That's ready to go on the roof. That's how we get our size. So I know that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 in there. And then I'll just draw a line down as a bit of a guide. And we'll get 4 and 1 out of there probably. That's waste. That goes. That's all waste and that's all waste. So that's the sapwood in there, and that's the hardwood that we want. So we're just going to split out those 4. So you take the sapwood off first, the back. And because that's sort of not straight, we're going to get a bit of feathering. It's going to come out a bit thinner at the bottom, like it would be a bit fatter. That's a good split, that one. Then we want to try and go in half. So that 4 is not tall. Used to be a half. Which we put down there. Going to break. A minute. Half.
bottom because of that sapwood that went out at the bottom there. So we're just going to take that side off. And that side will square up a bit. And then flip it over and just get that bit off there. There's the shingle.
Go. Right, so just splitting this one, and it's going a little bit pear-shaped. If you look here, I'm not quite even. So it looks okay on this side, but on the other side, the thin one's going to feather out. Now, if I leave it this way, I'm going to lose a shingle. So by putting it this way, and this is where you steer your split, and it's an okay example of what's going to happen. If I push down, it's going to try and drive that back. The crack will hopefully go down or keep it straight, and I won't lose it. And you also want to give a nice sharp jerk on this. So here we go. Well, it didn't work like that. And that way we've recovered a shingle. It's not an A grade one, but it can be used. Doesn't matter if it's a bit skinny up here. That's all going under other shingles. The key bit is the bottom third. That's got to be near perfect on all the shingles. So it's a skinny one. It still can be used. I'm tempted to put it in the seconds pile. I'll just straighten them up.
See how that's running off a bit?
Oh yeah.
It's running up, but if I sort of brought it back a little.
So a couple of things with the shingles we're looking for is when the timber's dried out a bit, it can often do this fluting thing or washboarding, and that's a bit of a problem. So it's why you've got to keep those logs green, moist, for as long as possible. Once they start drying, they tend to do a bit more of that, so it can makes the job hard, and you've got to trim a lot more. So we can use that one, but that becomes a problem, and you're not splitting it, you're tearing it when you're doing that. Another thing we're looking for, if you can see here, that gum veins come through. Now that can be a problem. Watch out, dog. Can be a problem. Because it's a weakness. So if that was going on a roof that way down, that's just going to rot. But we can put it on a roof this way and have it underneath the other shingles, because there's only a third of this shingles exposed. So with a, what do we say, 18-inch long shingle, 450mm, there's about 7 inches exposed. Another, I talked about splitting, these are split on the quarter, not the back. Here's an example of what happens when you split on the back with ash. It's just cupped like that, been in the sun. Now if you've got those all on your roof, you're going to have real trouble. So these keep with ash, keep it on the quarter, your red stringy bark on the quarter. It's probably not too getting to something like yellow box or your red gum or your she oak, where you split off the back and they behave a bit differently. So with this billet here, I reckon it's a bit of a cracker. So when we get this face here, that's a beautiful, clean, straight fibres aren't pulling off, that's what you're looking for in your finished shingle. But we're just got to break this down a bit. So again, take that back off. I probably, when I was talking about these shingles are 5 inches, they're specifically for a job that's what they want. But the shingles can be anywhere from 4 to 6 or even 8 inches, depending on your log. This log would actually do 8-inch wide shingles if we wanted. They're more prone to cupping and distorting when they're wider. So once we've got him down, I'll take my 4 off there. That's going pretty well. Take that in half. Bounced on me. Now that's what you want. Doesn't get better than that. Sometimes I get asked, wouldn't it be easy to use the machine? And I reckon, well, you see how easy that split. I don't think the machine's going to make it any easier or any quicker. And a lot of this comes down to selection of your tree. So if you've got the right tree, it's going to do that. That is a perfect shingle. That's as good as we can get.